Hey everybody, I'm Tim Peacock from the team over at Northbeam. Today we're just playing a round of golf with Craig from Grey Vault Consulting. Just kind of going through some of the struggles of agency life, how attribution and MTA fit into agency growth, client retention, all the topics that agency owners are thinking of these days. So yeah, excited to take you guys out with us. We're playing the Bear Mountain Valley course here in Victoria, BC, British Columbia. So yeah, it should be a lot of fun.
Hi, I'm Craig Graham, founder of Grey Vault Consulting, and we build and operate paid media systems for e-commerce brands and healthcare brands across North America.
Kind of wish I hit the range now. That would have been maybe a smart play.
Nice.
I was going to ask, I feel like every agency has, one client that questions every single budget decision. I was going to ask how, operating Northbeam on individual brands has changed that and has helped you back up, here's why we're making these marketing decisions, here's why we're putting spend in X place.
So I think budget's always the question, and definitely Northbeam is one of the tools we use that helps bring us to those answers.
Sure.
By utilizing the different attribution models that are appropriate for those channels.
Sure.
We really liked the clicks and deterministic views attribution model that was recently released. Being able to measure very quickly each of your channels appropriately for their attribution model. So if you're looking at, Google search and shopping and whatnot, and you can quickly switch to a clicks only view.
Yeah.
And then looking at meta and seeing the directional view for clicks and deterministic, it really allows you to quickly visualize and provide data and backup for budget decisions.
Totally. I know you were talking about clicks and deterministic views, and do you find that the launch of that new model helped you guys unlock even more kind of new customer growth and top of funnel awareness?
Yeah, definitely, because it lets us see within Northbeam and meta relative to other channels a directional contribution.
Sure.
As opposed to taking it straight out of meta and not seeing it in context with other channels.
Yeah.
Or at least give us the data confidence to be able to say, yeah, directionally we're doing the right thing, we're scaling the right creatives, etc. When you're seeing the clicks and deterministic and you're seeing a lot of credit going to meta, switching over, you're just getting kind of greater insight into that whole funnel journey that is the halo effect of that scaling effort.
100%. Yeah. On to the next. I was going to ask, I feel like agencies are always being asked to do, more with less. And so I'm curious how utilizing Northbeam's helped you guys, save time, but also not have to hire analysts, and just how are you guys doing more with less?
I think the real answer is probably a bit nuanced. What ends up happening for us anyways is that we become experts in both the paid media buy, the strategy, and the analysis of results throughout. And I think what Northbeam really does for us, like you said, it centralizes the data for us in such a way that allows for visual backup and easy context for us to reference when we're trying to justify results and making new decisions about where to buy next and what to do next and what the strategy can look like. I think from that perspective, the efficiencies are definitely gained. Mm-hmm. It's less we don't have to go hire an analyst now so much as we just become better at all those things, I think.
I know you said something about reducing waste even when you have attribution. So is that kind of a core focus of you and your agency team is, new client comes on, do you guys focus mostly on kind of using attribution to reduce waste off the bat?
So, we built systems or plans before where we'll be scaling and optimizing for reducing waste at the same time.
Sure.
Because of just the need for volume.
Yeah.
Given the client needs, etc. But in an ideal scenario, yeah, we like to say we don't spend any money until we have attribution system, conversion tracking, etc. in place, so that everything is measurable within reason. Everything we can measure is measurable.
Sure.
Yeah. So definitely.
When you're in the process of going after new business, is Northbeam something you talk about as a competitive advantage in your pitch? Do you include it on slide decks? Is it something that you just talk about? Do you show dashboards of other clients? Just kind of curious how you guys are utilizing that as a leg up in terms of competition.
So it definitely does come up. Having Northbeam in our back pocket definitely becomes a competitive advantage for us. What I truly believe to be, the elite attribution platform, incrementality and MMM and all the rest of it is really new to them. I think Northbeam is like a breath of fresh air. It's a huge advantage. I mean, it centralizes everything and helps all of us, like the client, us as the agency, and Northbeam as well, because it's a cohesive partnership for sure.
Aligning everybody on the same set of metrics, same financial models, same ROAS targets, same MER targets, etc.
Exactly.
Kind of trying to piecemeal everything together.
Exactly. Yeah. And I think one of the big advantages that I've found when bringing in a new client to Northbeam is that if measurement is difficult or maybe not possible at certain spend thresholds and things like that, we're just very aligned on values and how to pitch a client in a way that is transparent and ultimately helps foster that relationship much more deeply, and then everybody wins.
Craig, what's your take on agencies that are still using platform reported ROAS? Do you think they're just delusional or behind, or what's your overall take?
If you're only relying on in-platform, you're getting very siloed views and very biased views of attribution, so it doesn't complete the whole picture for you. So, I mean, if you're not using some type of MTA to help paint the entire picture, then I think there's just data you're missing or leaving on the table.
If there's not a proper MTA in place, as you said, obviously agencies could just, work with their reps at the platform and end up spending way too much money in one platform or category versus another.
And that's a really good point. I mean, Meta, Google, etc., they're not actually lying in terms of the attribution side. Anytime somebody interacts with one of those ads, they're able to then track through all the way to the end to the conversion. Those ads did have something to do with the customer journey. The problem is that if you just look at each one and you were to sum all of the revenue attributed across those, it would be 10x what your true revenue is. If you're doing that, you're not getting the whole picture. You're not able to.
Just kind of curious from your perspective, how has revenue deduplication through Northbeam helped you guys make better marketing decisions for your brands?
It would be near impossible at the scale of spend that we tend to do with our clients to be able to do that without a platform like Northbeam. I think what that allows us to do is, first of all, it gives us, MER data, spend, total spend, and then broken out by channel, and revenue and attributed revenue by channel kind of holistically. But then it also allows us to dive in all kind of in the same platform and be able to change attribution models depending on what is relevant or appropriate for that particular paid media channel. Using clicks and deterministic views or some type of attribution model that incorporates some view data is important for a more directional view of your meta ads attribution. Because if you were using clicks only and you were trying to compare Meta to Google, Google would win because it is a click-heavy attribution platform that tends to sit lower in the funnel. Meta, when looking at it through this view, and I understand this attribution model, it influenced, this kind of directional level of revenue versus clicks only. I mean, if you didn't have that revenue deduplication, what would you even be looking at? It would be a mess. You wouldn't be able to do it. Highly valuable for sure.
Out of all the platforms out there, Northbeam is the only platform that properly deduplicates revenue through multi-touch attribution.
Right.
And so a lot of teams are, trying to make good marketing bets, and where do we put our next 10% of budget? Is it here or here? But they're making these decisions off of 200% of revenue because they add up what Meta says and what Google says and their platform ROAS. In the grand scheme of things, they're trying to make marketing decisions off of a way inflated number. Getting into the golf mindset from being on calls all day is just like such a weird shift, and then takes a few holes to kind of get into it.
Yeah. Oh, go for it, man.
All right. Swing smooth, they say. Nice shot. Oof. Get on it.
Oh, yeah.
I was just gonna ask, is bad data a retention risk for an agency? Like, do you find that, like, have you ever lost a client or come close to losing a client because you just didn't have the right set of attribution data in place to tell the clearest story of your performance as an agency?
I mean, definitely. Without some type of system to be able to put all the pieces together, you're flying blind. So yeah, is it a retention risk? I think 100%. If you don't have good enough answers and your justifications and reasons aren't backed up by data, you are at a large risk for losing that client.
Yeah, Craig, I'm curious, what would you tell another agency owner who's skeptical about getting on Northbeam and they think they have attribution figured out? What would you tell them, just in terms of kind of what they're missing out on?
First of all, if they're not using any kind of MTA for attribution, then they're missing a huge part of the picture that I think is like harder to explain and easier to show, if that makes sense. You're just not seeing an attribution picture if you're not using Northbeam that has like any place in reality, in all honesty. And it's probably so far from being accurate that every decision you make is kind of taking you further and further from the business outcomes you're actually trying to achieve. It saves you and your team time. I don't understand why you wouldn't want to dedicate the relatively small amount of resources to generate the type of value that you get out of a platform like Northbeam. It's game changing, and honestly, it's one of the main reasons why we're able to be successful with our clients. It's a very, very important tool in the measurement toolbox that we utilize every day.
Yeah, I would just love to get your thoughts on, what it's like being a Northbeam agency partner, where you have direct access to our team. We can come in and help you close net new business or retain existing business by, having our team of professionals on the media strategy side, the sales side, marketing, and so forth, work alongside you guys to get the most out of the tool and make sure that, you and your brands are successful using Northbeam.
We can always rely on the Northbeam team to give us the honest answer as opposed to giving us the answer we want to hear or the client wants to hear, which is exactly how we operate as well. So we're very much aligned on values that way. The benefits of being able to lean on Northbeam to be able to bring in an expert for MMM specifically, that has been really, really helpful. We brought in one of our net new clients who was having challenges with attribution. Their existing agency was running their MMM for them. We had Northbeam come in and do an analysis of their MMM and their entire media stack. The Northbeam team essentially said they didn't have the volume of spend to be able to effectively use an MMM at all, and came back and said basically like an MTA is probably your best bet to be able to get any kind of attribution system in place and have like at least some of the answers, even if they're directional, that you're looking for. And we just really appreciated that honesty because I think it was the first time that this client had that level of transparency from any kind of data partner or agency partner. So to be in sync with the Northbeam team on providing that kind of value and being aligned with outcome focused as opposed to, just kind of getting the client to stay with you or selling them something else was absolutely huge. We know we can rely on Northbeam to give us like really good answers, and we trust and lean on them for expert opinions on anything attribution. So reporting before we started using Northbeam was really challenging. There was a lot of disconnected platforms we were using, lots of spreadsheets, lots of manual work. Now we're able to utilize the Northbeam API to be able to bring all of our reporting together so we can take Northbeam, Google Ads, Meta Ads, all our data platforms together in one spot, use some type of a platform like Claude Code to be able to help generate all of our reporting in kind of one seamless amalgamated setup. And it's become much, much easier to be able to ship reports on an ongoing basis. We do a lot more reporting now to add that extra value than we ever did in the past, just because it becomes so seamless and it is so accurate.